Cindy, hold my calls.
All those calls.
I don't get many calls, but she'll hold them.
Yes, perfect.
No active coach has been at Heidelberg longer than our guest today. Between the time he spent as Heidelberg's wrestling coach to his current role as head volleyball coach, he has been named OAC Coach of the Year 10 times. His name is Jason Miller. He's coached 13 student athletes to a total of 21 All-American honors. But today, he's stuck talking to me. This is Coaches on Campus Getting Coffee. And by coffee, I mean smoothies. Season's going all right this year.
It is.
Had some success, picked 5th in the conference, and now you're creeping up in the national rankings.
Conference is going to be tough. I mean, it's our conference is doing well nationally. I mean, we're playing. They're beating conference teams. Are beating a lot of good teams this year. So, I'm looking forward to what that brings.
I think it's one of the selling points of the OAC is that you're playing top-notch competition. You're not playing, I don't say garbage teams, but you're playing really good, talented teams.
Yeah, I mean, you have to show up and play every day. You have to show up and compete, and that's what I love. I love watching our kids compete, and certainly I love the challenge of having to show up and compete every day.
One of the questions that I get asked a lot is, well, how can we, if we do an orange out, if we do a black out, if we do a white out, will that increase our attendance at games? And really it's teams that win and are competitive. It seems like that's what drives the students.
Well, I tell our players every year, it'll be my job to get them to the first game. It's your job to get them to come back. And if you put on a great show, win or lose, if it's entertaining, kids are going to want to be there. And so we typically play a pretty fun, entertaining style of volleyball, and people want to come watch.
And I've seen enough games on the road, and obviously you're at all the games too. You don't get the same kind of support that you get here everywhere.
No. As a matter of fact, I would say that there are a couple places we played this year where we traveled more than the home team had there.
Yeah.
So
let's grab something to drink.
Let's do it.
It's on me. I know you're not a coffee drinker.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I think at face value, at the surface level, coming in as a volleyball coach and a wrestling coach, those don't seem like those student athletes are very similar. Obviously, different genders, different sports, but how are they similar?
The one thing over the years that when I coached both, I didn't treat them differently. I had this firm belief that regardless of whether you were playing volleyball or wrestling, that there were certain things and certain characteristics that successful athletes did. And that's what I coached, that's what I preached. And for me, it's the way I treated them. I treated them the same. And there was just a level of expectation that I had, regardless of wrestling or volleyball, that I had for all my athletes. And you were going to live by that expectation or up to that expectation. And for us, it worked.
In your office on the wall, there are about a dozen OAC Coach of the Year plaques between wrestling and volleyball. When you find out that you've been named Coach of the Year, what goes through your head?
It's a program award. Anyone that ever says that, I mean, there's no way that those Coach of the Year awards happen without buy-in from the student athletes, without buy-in from your coaching staff. I've been very fortunate over the years to have surrounded myself with some amazing people. Some I've lucked into. Some we've done, we've been able to hire great people, and so for me, that's really what it is. It's an appreciation for everybody. That's the one thing that we talk a lot about when recruiting is it's about bringing together a great group of people who want the same thing, and so for us, that's really what it comes down to. Is it's an appreciation when that happens. It's appreciation for the buy-in that you have from different levels of different groups of people.
How do you identify those players that you think are going to be the right fit here? Obviously, volleyball-wise, but also team fit, family fit.
For us, it really comes down to finding athletes who fit into that mold. We really talk a lot about our core values and faith, family, future, forever. Those are things that are important to our players, and those are things that we want to be important to the players that are looking to come into our program. And so we talk heavily about that throughout the recruiting process. Initially, obviously, we're looking at athletes. I don't necessarily need to find that polished athlete. Someone who shows a lot of athleticism. I'm hoping, the idea is to bring that player in and certainly smooth out some of the rough edges, but the athletic ability has to be, they've got to be an athlete. They got to be able to walk and chew gum at the same time.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
How do you, as a male coach, approach female student athletes?
I never look at it that way. For me, it's about providing an opportunity and showing them the opportunities that they have here, and being able to convince that what we do and how we do it is going to help them be successful. And certainly I have 2 female assistants, so they tend to help me out a little bit. And let's not forget, I go home to 5 women every day. So just the other day, I found out that, in case you didn't know, the Primo leggings are Lululemons. I don't know if you know that or not, but I found that out this week. So I learn a little bit every trip.
I'm not even sure what that really means. So,
nor did I.
Yeah, that's. So you've been here since 2000.
Yes.
You were a student before that, and one of the best wrestlers we've ever had here. There's been a lot of changes.
There has.
This is what I think year number 3 now. For the gym, the new floor, the new bleachers, the kind of the floor to ceiling makeovers, we kind of called it. One of the things I think was important was moving the court from running 2 courts. You could run 2 courts up and down the basketball court.
Right.
So moving your game floor into the middle of the basketball court to where you can pull down both sets of bleachers. I think to me, almost symbolically, was saying, you guys really matter.
Well, the funny thing about that whole process, and you were a part of it, we went through probably 20 different variations of paint on the floor. And whenever I was asked my opinion, all I said was, I don't care what the floor looks like as long as the volleyball is in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, just put my volleyball court in the middle of the floor. That's all I cared about. I didn't care whatever. Now, I certainly, I love what we did and what we came up with. I love the big H in the middle. But yeah, and for years, volleyball's mattered on this campus. Tuesday night, that's, except for the first part of our season, because we've been on the road a lot,
Yeah.
but Tuesday night's volleyball night, and people know that, and certainly our students come out and support our players. That's the one thing that I know our players love, absolutely love. They love playing at home, and so we made it a priority. Next year's schedule, we've already got a lot more home games than we have this year, but that's a big part of the experience.
So is there a moment that stands out in here?
The year that we played Ohio Northern twice. We played them here during the regular season and beat them, and then in the conference championship, and we lost to them in the championship. But both of those matches, the attendance and it was just, the students rushed the court, and then the OAC championship game, the football players are coming up. Those are pretty cool. Those are pretty cool moments as a coach.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for our first time on Coaches on Campus getting smoothies. So I like it.
Smoothies for 2 smooth guys.